Liberia's former President Charles Taylor has been sentenced to a single term of 50 years, and the controversial painting of President Jacob Zuma sold despite being defaced. I'm Richard Brooks. Liberia's former President Charles Taylor has been sentenced to a single term of 50 years. The sentence has been handed down in The Hague. In April, the Special Court for Sierra Leone ruled that Taylor was guilty of arming that country's Revolutionary United Front rebels during the brutal 1991-2001 civil war in return for blood diamonds. Over 50,000 lives were lost. Presiding Judge Richard Luzik.
Mr. Taylor, for the foregoing reasons, the trial chamber unanimously sentences you to a single term of imprisonment of 50 years for all of the counts on which you've been found guilty. Credit shall be given to you for the period commencing from 29th of March 2006, during which you were detained in custody pending this trial.
The controversial painting of President Jacob Zuma has been sold despite being defaced. Goodman Gallery director Lisa Ezzers says the German buyer who bought the painting still wants it in its defaced form. The ANC and the gallery says they've reached an agreement on the painting by Brett Murray. The ANC will be withdrawing its court application on the controversial painting against the Goodman Gallery and that of the City Press newspaper. The painting will no longer be on display, but the rest of the exhibition stays. ANC spokesperson Jackson Tembu explains.
This is our agreement, and through this agreement, indeed, we as the ANC, a question has been asked. What happens to the Goodman Gallery going to court or the ANC going to court? Indeed, we are no longer taking the Goodman Gallery to court. We are no longer taking City Press to court because the reasons that we're taking them to court for have now been agreed upon.
Goodman Gallery director Lisa Ezzers says while she welcomes today's agreement with the ANC over the controversial painting of President Jacob Zuma, she says art galleries are neutral places where controversy features.
The important thing that I'd like to make clear is that not one person's view is more important than anyone else's. And everybody's view is respected, and that the gallery is very much a neutral space. And contemporary art, by its very nature, can be controversial. We have had many controversial exhibitions and dialogues and debates in the Goodman Gallery, and we will continue to do so.
Growth in credit demand by the private sector slowed more than expected to 7.33% year-on-year in April, compared with a 9.16% rise in March. Credit demand growth has been positive, although its recovery has been somewhat constrained by high unemployment and an uncertain outlook for companies. Meanwhile, growth in the M3, which measures money supply, slowed to 6.16% from 6.65% in March.